Hello scale modelers from YouTube and welcome to my channel. For this video, we have another makeover. In this case, of a Toyota Hillux Surf V6 3000 SSR Limited. The model is from Aoshima, kit number 011607, in 1/24 scale, issued in 1991. This build, besides being a little dirty, we can see that it was assembled without being painted, with the exception of the taillights and one of the front turn signals, because all the other turn signal lenses are missing. I checked two things immediately. First, the side mirrors were installed in a wrong position, and second, comparing with reference photos on the net, the rear mud flaps are incorrectly positioned. In the build they are placed in front of the rear wheels, when they should be behind them. So, in addition to these two fixes that I have to take care of, there are some painting details that I also have to do. But now, let's look at the makeover process for this build. As always, the first step was to disassemble all the parts that I could, and wash them. On the body, I was able to disassemble only the rear windows, the taillights, the windshield wipers, the side mirrors, the front and rear bumpers, as well as the front grille. All parts of the interior are in the original gray plastic, without any painted details. Even though I want to keep the interior of the build in gray, these parts were disassembled, and will be painted, as well as several details, mainly on the dashboard. And for the dashboard, I will also have to find a gauges decal. On the chassis, I was only able to remove the front axle parts. At the rear, the glue was very strong, and in order not to break something, I preferred to leave it as it was, and go from there. Again, nothing was painted, it's all in raw black plastic. And even the exhaust system was not painted. Well, here we have several small parts to deal with, and paint some details. But now, let's see the progress of this makeover, for the chassis, for the interior, as well as for the body. So, the chassis was first painted flat black, and then, as this is a curbside model kit, I painted with silver the engine and transmission areas that are visible under the chassis, and painted with aluminum the drive shaft. Then, I dry brushed with silver paint the black areas of the chassis to highlight the details, and painted also with silver the torsion bar, as well as the shock absorbers. Finally, I installed the parts of the front axle, which were previously painted, some flat black, others silver, or even aluminum, and in the case of the transmission box, with gold, to obtain different color contrasts. I painted the exhaust also with silver, and installed it, in the corresponding place. The spare wheel was also detail painted, as it was all in raw black plastic. I painted the rim with chrome, and the tire with rubber black. To finish the chassis, I dry brushed with silver the new flat black parts, and all parts in silver, aluminum, or gold were black washed with Tamiya panel line accent color to highlight the details and give them a used look. In the interior, first I made the front and rear seat backs with plastic boards, then I prepared all the interior parts with gray primer, and finally I painted these parts with iron gray. All the interior floor areas were covered with black flocking, and the door handles, as well as some details on the dashboard were painted silver. For the gauges, I used a decal from my parts box. Unfortunately, on the body, I tried a second time to remove the clear part of the front windows, but the result was a crack on the windshield. I was sad, but it is what it is, and I will have to live with it, because it was my mistake. So, after cleaning the body, I masked these windows, and I painted black the trims around all the windows, as well as the door handles. With Tamiya panel line accent color, I blackwashed the panel lines from the doors, from the hood, and from the gas tank cap. The body is not painted, but as the plastic is a nice metallic green, that I wanted to highlight, as well as preserve the side decals, I clear-coated all the body with Tamiya TS13. Then, I re-glued the other windows that I had removed, as well as the side mirrors, and the front and rear windshield wipers. For the interior, I scratch-built the missing rear-view mirror, and installed it in its location. Before gluing the chrome elements at the front, I painted the grills black, keeping the Toyota and V6 symbols visible in chrome. I installed the headlight lenses and a license plate, and painted the turn signals with transparent orange, both on the side of the headlights and on the bumper. For all the turn signal lights, I made the lenses out of acetate, as the clear parts were missing. At the rear, I installed the bumper, and as the clear parts, both the taillights and the lights next to the license plate, were all painted orange, I stripped the paint. On the taillights, I painted the corresponding areas with transparent orange and transparent red, and covered the inside with metal foil, before installing them. I painted the license plate area and the door lock with silver, installed a license plate, and for the lights on each side, I also covered the inside with metal foil, before installing them. Well, with all the sub-assemblies ready, it is time to join them, and see the makeover result. And here she is. The running boards, on each side of the car, were painted aluminum, and the mud flaps, both front and rear, were painted flat black, and installed in their correct locations. I remember that the rear mud flaps were incorrectly positioned. In the initial build they were placed in front of the rear wheels, when they should be behind the wheels, as they are now. So, this was my makeover for this Toyota Hillux Surf V6 3000 SSR Limited. Besides the crack in the windshield, I'm happy how it came out. I hope you like it too, and stay tuned for the static pictures of the kit at the end. Thanks to all my subscribers, and thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and comment down below with any question or feedback. See you in the next video.